Welcome, everyone. Today, I have the pleasure to welcome one of our exit associates, Billie Alexis Braithwaite. How are you, Billie?
Thanks for asking, Hector. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
For those of you watching, Billie happens to be an exit associate here with Exit All Seasons Realty in Brooklyn, New York. And Billie's story is very unique. So I'm just asking every one of you to please pay attention to what's going to come out of this interview because her story is life-changing. It's very different than anything that we have done in the past. And for that, Billie, I really want to thank you for allowing me to do an interview here with you.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking about me. I
Great.
appreciate that so much.
So first, Billie, I understand that you first got licensed back in 1994, 1995, correct?
Yes, I did.
Yes, and at the time, right, and at the time, I mean, you had your daughter, you had the first baby first, right?
Right.
And you have been doing real estate part-time all these years, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Got it. Now, I also understand that you are a school teacher for 21 years in Brooklyn, correct?
Yes, absolutely. I teach English in a high school here in New York City, public high school here in New York City.
Wow, that's a long time. 21 years, Billie?
Yes, 21 years. I tell you, the years go by so quickly, Hector. But I can't even believe that I've been teaching that long, but it has been that long. Yes.
That's great. Well, you know what? Thank you for giving back to the kids out there. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my passions. I love it.
That's beautiful. So Billie, today what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to share your story. And I know that many of the viewers are perhaps may connect in an indirect way with you because we never seen this before. Your story, like I said, is very unique. So for that, let me just briefly set the scenario here. So Billie, your dad's name was William Braithwaite.
Right.
Your dad, I believe, got licensed prior to 2010, perhaps, right?
Yeah, around that time. Yeah.
Around that time, right? And I know that he joined Exit back in April 2012.
Right.
And obviously, because you've been in real estate for so many years, right? You work with different companies, but your dad introduced you to Exit.
Yes, he did.
And you joined back in 2014, I believe.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And all this time you have been teaching and you've been doing real estate as a part-time agent, right? Pretty much.
Yes.
So the story begins the moment that Billie, you joined the company, you started doing a few sales with your dad. And right now, by the way, for those of you watching, right now, Billie is now sitting in what was your dad's home office setup.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sitting in his chair, his big leather chair that he sat in, made his cold calls, did, when he did anything from home, did it from this desk.
And I see that right in the background, there are two pictures that I can see from here, which is your dad.
And one of them actually is him with an award that he got from Exit.
That's beautiful.
So, yes. So I'm not sure what year and what that award, but he got an award from Exit. And it is, I know my mom has it here. Gosh, I can't see it right now, but the award is here.
So your dad introduced you to Exit Realty, and obviously you've been with Exit now since 2014.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, your dad was a victim back in April of COVID-19, the virus COVID-19, and he passed away.
Yeah.
Your dad passed away, and obviously left you and a sibling. How many siblings?
Three.
3 siblings altogether, right? 3 siblings, right? So Billie, can you tell us, number one, why did you decide to join Exit when your dad introduced you? Besides that, it was your dad asking, right? What can you tell us about the experience that you have had with Exit, and what did you see as far as your dad being a realtor with Exit Realty?
Okay. So I decided to join Exit after, my father, he didn't start initially with Exit. He was at a couple of other agencies and then came to Exit. And what set Exit apart from the other agencies as far as he was concerned, was the level of interest in their agents and education, the amount of educational opportunities and resources that provided their agents to be successful. And so I was also intrigued by that, because I saw him, like when I would come over, he'd be, cold calling, and he'd get listings. And I'm like, how did you get that listing? And let me tell you, he made me a believer in cold calling. If my father had not, if I had not seen results from my father, I would not believe in cold calling.
Wow.
Because a number of my father's listings were from cold calling.
That is
So I had asked him, like, oh, how'd you get that? Who'd you know? How'd you get that listing? And he's like, oh, cold calling. I'm like, are you serious? Like, this stuff really works? Like, you call people and they're like, yeah, you could come over and get a listing. He's like, yeah. And, it's just amazing to me, because one of the things, and I'm just going to digress just a little bit, if you allow me just to talk about him a little bit. He was very methodical and very, had a planner. And after he passed, and and helping my mom just go through some of his stuff, I saw where he would list like follow-up appointments, like he had follow-up appointments with people. He called in such and such a date and their address, and just a synopsis of their conversation to call to, they said, oh, they might be thinking in about 6 months. And, I was just, so amazed at, his level of commitment. But again, from exit and from, using the script or what, the dialogue that you all set to use when you call. So yeah, if there's one takeaway, it's, it works. It worked for him. It absolutely did.
That is so good. So Billie, now your dad, obviously, he died back in April, right? He passed away in April. How old was your dad when he passed?
How old?
How old was your dad? Yeah.
Daddy was 74. He would have been 75 on August 14th.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he came to real estate quite late in his life. He was an airline executive for most of his life. And so after he retired from that, he was always, wanting to stay energized and wanting to stay nimble, stay sharp, and stay active. And and decided to do real estate.
Your dad was he was a very likable guy. I remember I did a few sessions at your office, and he was always there.
Yeah.
Always there asking questions.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of the younger ages were always asking questions. He was always very willing to share and advise and help out. Oh my God, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and I mean, the level of just enthusiasm that and the hard work that he was willing to put in, as a retiree in this, because he was seeing results. He would give his card out. Like when we went out, anybody he walked by, he would give the card. He was just a natural at striking up a conversation with people and making people feel comfortable in his presence. And then he would give, his business card to someone, and people will, among his last listings, I believe that's how he got the listing. He'd given his card to someone and they passed it on to someone else who was looking to sell their property. So yeah, it was just, he just worked it. He just did what the manual said to do, he did. And
he followed directions. Right. So what makes your story very interesting is the following. Obviously, for those of you watching, you already perhaps know by now that at Exit Realty, when you are an active real estate agent and you sponsor agents into the company, into any exit office, anywhere we exist, Exit International will pay you an amount equal to 10% of every agent that you introduce to the company, which is great. Right?
Yeah.
So your dad obviously did the same, okay? And obviously, when someone retires from Exit, instead of paying the amount of equal to 10%, they would pay the amount of equal to 7%. But in your case here, Billie, your dad passed away, which means that, let's just say in your case, because he sponsored you into the company, if you, Billie, you close a transaction with Exit, your dad's beneficiary, which happens to be your mom, correct?
A wonderful mom. Yeah,
A
they've
wonderful
been
mom,
married for 53 years.
53 years married, right?
Mhm.
So this means that if you, Billy, because your dad sponsored you into Exit,
Yes.
and you do a transaction at Exit Realty,
Hmm.
your mom will benefit with an amount of 5% of every commission that you close.
Wow. Yeah.
That is what makes this system so unique. And this is the story that we wanted to share with you because
Mhm.
we have not seen this before, especially in New York, Billy. I just want
Right.
you to know. And
Mhm.
for that, I just want to thank you, Billy. I want to thank you for what you're doing out there as an agent, for
Thank
what you're doing, for giving back to the community, being a teacher for 21 years, and still being committed to do some real estate.
you. Yeah.
But I know that now time is coming up soon that you got to start making some decisions as far as your retirement. So what's your position, my dear?
Yeah, I have more years behind me now in the career than I do in front of me. So, yeah, I've been, I've had the summer, and, after you have a life-changing event, such as a passing of someone close to you, you really start to reassess and reevaluate, your life and where do you see your life going and leading and all of that. So, yeah, these are decisions that, I I'm going to have to, assess
Yeah.
and make life-changing decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mhm.
So for those of you watching, again, Billy is been teaching, as I said before, for 21 years in New York City in one of the schools in Brooklyn, right? Is that in Brooklyn? Is that
Yes,
where you always?
absolutely. I teach in a high school, one of the best high schools in Brooklyn. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say the name of it, but it is the best high school in Brooklyn, New York. And not just because I teach there, but great people, great staff, great students.
That's
Yes.
great. I'll tell you, I love your energy, Billy. I love your energy, your
Thank
enthusiasm. You're so good. I feel like I'm a student at your classroom right
you.
now. I feel like I'm a student listening to you in the classroom.
Oh, wow. Yes.
That is so cool. Well, Billy, listen, I just want to thank you for sharing this. Listen, all the best to you, to your siblings, to your mom. And all we want to do now moving forward, we want to continue to guide you, Billy, because we want to help you. We
Mhm.
want to help you become more productive. And when the time comes for you to switch from being a part-time agent to a full-time agent, when it's time for you
Mhm.
to retire,
Right.
believe me, we will always be there for you. We'll make sure we make you very productive so your mom is proud in
Yes.
receiving that 5% beneficiary.
Oh, yes. Yes. She's become my cheerleader.
Uh,
Yes, as a matter of fact, Mommy has just received all the paperwork. Big envelope came with all the paperwork for her to now fill out so that she can start receiving those residuals from Daddy's team. So she said to me, she's like, yeah, get out there and start selling some houses.
that is so cool.
Oh yeah, so it was
Wow.
yeah. So that was it was a nice. I know my father had mentioned it to her because I remember being here when he did, but she just completely forgot about that because who's thinking about dying and that stuff just seemed so far off. So it was a nice surprise for her to see that this is actually that she's doing paperwork for this to happen.
It's real. It's real. And
Yeah.
Billy, and this is what makes these are the kind of story that really makes everything worth it for us at Exit.
Hmm.
All the executives, for the founder, Steve Morris, the CEO, Tammy Bonnell, all of our executives, this is what we live for, just so you know. Just
Yeah.
hear stories on how the system is making an impact.
Absolutely.
Here is you, and here is your mom. Your
Yeah.
mom, not knowing where this money will come from, all of a sudden it's going to arrive the moment that closes begin here. I
Hmm.
tell you, it's just amazing. And this is why they say, and I don't know if you know, Billy, but
Hmm.
Exit is a company with a heart.
Yes, and definitely. I mean, we've seen that.
Well,
We've absolutely seen that, just through this whole process. And again, as my mom finding out that, now she can get some income from this. So, absolutely, Exit is definitely the premier real estate company to want to be with, to be an agent with. There's just a level of interest and care that they give to their agents. It's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal.
That's great. Well, I'm glad that you feel this way here, Billy. Billy, once again, I just want to thank you, and I just want to invite everyone. If you would like to know a little bit more about Billy's stories, please feel free to reach out to her. And if you're interested in joining Exit, go ahead and call Billy. Ask her what did it take her to become an Exit associate. Hopefully, she could sponsor a few more people into the Exit system. Hopefully, we can help her retire faster.
Right. Yes, that's the goal.
Well,
Thank
listen,
you
Billy,
so much,
I just want to
Hector.
I just want to thank you, Billy. I love your energy. I love your energy. I know that if your dad will be watching this, he will be so proud of you, of what you're doing in your
Thank you.
future.
My dad had a saying, and he's just used to say to me, do your best for me, do your best for me, baby, do your best for me. So, I'm going to definitely try to continue that legacy and to, those words just keep repeating in my mind over and over. And so, that's my goal. That's my goal. That's my mantra. And we're going to persist, and we're going to definitely continue to live and to enjoy
Mhm.
the benefits of our hard work,
That's right. Yeah,
because exit definitely does provide an avenue to do that.
absolutely. We're here for you. We have the right tools for you to do anything that you want to do in real estate and succeed
Yeah.
as far as you want to go.
Yes.
So
Yes.
once again, for everyone watching, thank you for watching. Please make sure that you contact Billy if you have any questions. We'll see you at the next one. Billy, all the best to you, my dear. Mar-
Thank you. Thank you, Hector, so very much. Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate this.
Very
Thank
good,
you.
my
Thank
dear.
you for
You're very
remembering my
welcome.
father. Thank you.
My regards to your mom, okay?
Thank you. I will tell her. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you, okay?
Take care. Bye bye.